Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to show you a little tutorial, well basically just some tips for starting a good survival world, or these even work if you're just trying to make your survival world better, like if it's not going too well or whatever. So let's just get straight into the video. I don't want to bore you guys. So the first tip is get villagers. You're really going to need villagers. Because the thing is, if you don't have villagers, it's going to be a lot harder to get tools and armor and some of the really important stuff, like emeralds and everything. In my opinion, one of the most important parts of Minecraft is like trading. So I am just going to show you a couple examples, and you can just skip 50 seconds if you have watched my most recent video, which I recommend you watch. It is pretty useful. It just shows you how to get these kinds of trades. So yeah, you can get really good trades from villagers, and basically for Fletchers this is the best way to get emeralds, or at least in my opinion. And there's some other really good ways, like shepherds. You can get the wool. You can just, if you have a huge sheep farm, you can just get the wool and sell it to them for some emeralds. Not too bad. And then basically mining 4 logs gives you an emerald, like if you do the math, and I did it for you guys because I'm so nice. I'm the best. So then if you have a diamond axe, it's not going to be too hard to get like a lot of sticks. So then it's a good cycle going. And then yeah. So that's really it. There's some other good stuff you can get from emeralds, from like villager trading, but let's move on to the next tip. This is one a lot of people don't think about, which is pretty surprising, considering, in my opinion, this is a pretty important one. This basically just means you need to figure out what kind of food source is going to be the best for you. Like, if you've just got tons of cows roaming around, maybe make a cow farm. Or maybe if you have like a bunch of potatoes from villages you've looted, maybe a potato farm. If you have a ton of carrots, make a carrot farm. And then maybe you could go, if you have like a ton of gold left over, or a ton of gold from nether mining. Some people like to get gold from nether mining, and oh, that's bullying. That's bullying. Some people like to get gold from nether mining, and some people like to get gold from just mining in the overworld. And then you can make golden carrots, which are actually a really good food source. Or you can make a wheat farm and turn wheat into bread. Another thing some people like kind of overlook is just cooking food with campfires like this. I have like 8 campfires in my main survival world, and I just cook potatoes on them because I have a huge potato farm, and it's a really good food source. So like, you can just do this, and it doesn't take long. It's way better than a furnace. And another idea is a sweet berry farm. If you I have slabs over these things, like the fire and the berries, just so that they don't hurt you, because I have literally almost died in like iron armor in one of my old survival worlds because I was like too close to the berry bushes, and that was not good. And my friends were there, and I did not want to get embarrassed, so I went full try-hard berry farming mode. So yeah, that's one way you can do it. You can just go through, harvest your berries. And yes, that's tip number 2. Moving on to tip number 3. Terrain that you like, that you think you could like vision yourself building in. What I like to kind of do is have like an open plains biome like this. Oh, this is actually perfect. Having a couple of little ponds for water sources. Well, you can always just make an infinite water source. Maybe near villages, which this is actually a really good seed. I'll give you guys the seed at the end of the video, because this is actually pretty cool. Like maybe near a village, with some lava around. This is a pretty good seed. Wow. Maybe some mountains, some caves. And then what I think is important too is having like an ocean or some kind, like this is a nice lake, because there's some clay, there's sand. I think drowns could spawn in here. An ocean is good to have nearby because ocean monuments and stuff, and I think ocean, like buried treasures and sunken shipwrecks, you can, shipwrecks, you can get some really good loot. And then, we've even got another portal over here. Wow, I gotta use this for like speed running or something. But, yeah, that's really all that tip is about. I'll see you on tip number 4. Number 4 is really simple, but I think this one's pretty useful if you're going to be traveling a lot. I recommend making a lot of like random landmarks and stuff like that, just so that you guys can, you know, like find your way back home. Like, oh wait, this is where I made that like monument for the mob spawner. All right, I mean if that's there, then that would mean that my house and base and village is over here. So like just claim a lot of land, put land, like even if they're really small or really simple, because you'll eventually get used to those and it'll just be human instinct. You'll remember where everything is, and it makes everything easier. I know this is a pretty weird one, but it actually makes sense. Alright, I'll see you in tip number 5. Simple one, just venture out a lot. Because some people are scared to venture out. And what I do is I never go that far with my full diamond because I have like respiration 3, feather falling 4, some like really good enchantments, and it's taken me like hours and hours of time to get that stuff, and I really don't want to like lose it, you know? So if you don't have keep inventory off, like if you're just doing a completely legit survival, it can be stressful. So what I do is I just get some like iron armor or just some random junk that I have around, like a couple of pickaxes, and I just go around, see what I can find, go on an adventure. Maybe if I find an ocean, I just go around looking for diamonds at buried treasures, sunken shipwrecks, find villages, the blacksmiths, because you can get some really good loot from that stuff. And I think that's actually a really important thing. Like if you don't venture out like a lot in Minecraft, it's gonna be a lot harder to actually like find new resources, because there's new resources with new biomes. So that's really all it is. On to tip number 6? I think 6. Let's go. Okay, so this next one is to figure out the best method of transportation. I'll show you guys some examples in a second to show you what I mean. Find a good method of transportation, because you have a couple of different land options. This is not even a worth it option. This is like the slowest horse ever. Get out of my sight, meanie. And then there's also Elytra. Well, this one's like later on. If you're starting a survival world, there's no way you'll have this. And honestly, you can get Riptide pretty early. I got it pretty fast, and I think it's like my favorite water. Like just traveling around lakes and stuff, I think this like enchantment's really useful. And it's so fun. But then there's also boat for traveling across water and then across land. I'll just figure out, like, if you have a ton of iron, maybe a giant railway system. Or if you, but that's not good for if you're exploring, because once you're like actually going on the railroad, you've already explored it while you're building it. So there's not really much of a point in that, but it's an option. There is also horses. There's tridents. If there's just random puddles of water, you can just go yeet and yeet. And then if you're in the water, then just boat around. But yeah, that's really what I meant by that one. On to tip number 7. And it's really just get help if possible. If you have some friends who'd be willing to play with you and have some fun, that's always good. One, for mental support, because it really sucks when you like lose all your diamonds or something bad happens. Of course, only someone you would trust. If they're like not really trusted with, if you can't really trust them with your world, I wouldn't invite them. But if you think you can, sure, just go for it. It's always fun to have someone with you, and they can also help you out a little bit. It's good to have someone to trade with, someone to talk to. It makes it a little more easy to just grind XP if you're doing it with someone. Or, you know, it's just, it makes everything easier. And you know, they like if you're going on mining trips together, they spot some diamonds, you know, maybe they'll give some to you if they're nice. or if you agree to split all the iron you get on a mining trip, then that's pretty good. So yeah, that's really all I meant. Just like, get a friend if possible. This one isn't really like necessary, but it can help. It can definitely help. And I don't mean, this counts, but I really mean like out of the ordinary farms, not like potato farms. I mean like iron farms. Some people even make like wood farms and stone farms, which I don't really know how to do those, but stuff like iron farms, wheat farms, or another really important one is XP farms. Having the XP farm, like a good way to get XP fast, is really important to get enchantments, because it sucks to have to get from level 1 to 30 when you're just out killing mobs randomly. So it's good to have a good XP farm, and I think that's really important. Alright, on to tip number 8, I think. Basic tricks, like just know the game. It's I don't know what else to say, just know the game. Like things like knowing about critical hits, or about MLGs, or about like just random little things, or like Y coordinate 12. Just things that will really make everything easier in the long run, because it will make things more efficient. And you know, if the better you know the game, the faster you'll be successful in it. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed. I hope some of these helped you out. I hope at least 2 people actually got here, because it took me a little while to make this video, and I don't want that to go to waste. That happens a lot. I just don't get any views, and I'm sad. So yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, please drop a like, and subscribe if you want to. That's not, you can if you want. It would really make me happy. And yeah, I feel like doing some kind of like little shout out to one of my subscribers. If someone, subscribe and hit the like button, and a random person who subscribes from this video and hits the like button will get a shout out. And if there's only one person, epic, you get a shout out automatically. And if there's like no one, then no one gets a shout out. Too bad for you. So yeah, that's it. Goodbye.